This is Skylar and Macy at the TLC Clinic, January 21st, 2017. I'm going to let both videos go through regular play and then do a slow play video after. The video on the left is your afternoon run. The video on the right is your morning run. You did shave off a good amount of time. And I really saw some nice improvements in your turns and your hand position. So we're going to go ahead and kind of look at all those. When I rode your horse, there were some holes in her basics that I felt on her pattern. As far as her basics, like picking up her lead, she did great both directions. So I just feel like she has some kidditis, and that's very common when you have a horse that is ridden often by kids and no parents get on and tune up, or no trainer gets on and tune up. So without weekly lessons or a parent getting on and kind of directing the horse as to doing things the right way, that can happen. So anyways, she picked up her lead with no problem, so I didn't feel like she was in pain in any way at all, Macy. So I feel Skylar just needs to work on her horsemanship, learn how to ask for a lead, learn how to move body parts around with her legs more and less with her reins, that kind of thing. So I want you to notice one of the reasons your time was a lot faster in the afternoon than the morning was your position. Even though you're a little crooked at takeoff, you're still lined up with the banner, okay? Your horse kind of darts a little and then gets straight after that, and we don't want that. But this one, you started way off of the third barrel, so that makes for a harder approach as well. So we're going to let these get going. So you get her straight. Again, she's on the wrong lead with both times. But when I rode her, she knew her leads. And if you notice, she's a smart girl. She switches to the correct lead before she gets to the barrel. So it's not that she doesn't know. She's just not listening, and the rider's not asking. So if you would work on that, she would definitely correct it. But like I said, she's swapping when she gets there. 1, 2 strides a rate, about 2.5, 1, 2 strides around the barrel. So that is good. But something I want you to notice here is your hands. When you go around this barrel, see where they're at? They're pulling way down here by your thigh. And then notice this barrel when you turn. And it just allows for a faster turn. I would like to see you go to the horn right here. When you get here, I want you to ride 2 hands, sit somewhere in here where you feel like you need to for rate and balance, but then I want you to drop that outside rein and go to the horn when you get there, all right? And that way you don't have to pull your horse. You're just guiding your horse in the turn. So if you felt the need that she wasn't coming around, you would use your outside leg and inside hand with a quick bump and release, not a pull. And the bump would happen around your saddle horn or thinking going to your belly button. Okay, you don't want to ever be beneath your wither or above your belly button. So you want to try to stay in a 6-inch box right in front of your saddle horn. All right, so that's the first thing. And then when you're coming out, you see yourself kick here. You kick one time. You only kick like one time coming out of the barrels. And really, as quiet as this horse is, you could probably double kick her probably at least 4 times across the pin. I would say 3 to 4 times double kick your horse and see how that does. And then as you approach the barrel, she'll rate 1. She's on the wrong lead until she switches her lead, but she switches it late. Ideally, we'd rather they switch as soon as they lead first, but a lot of horses don't switch until they get here. But that's all right. 1, 2 strides a rate, whoops, and then you see you go deep in the morning, but you snap it in the afternoon. And once again, let's look at hand position. Okay, so you drop the hand again here, not as low or as bad as in the morning, okay? And again, you're neck reining around. You're pulling her around the barrel. And remember what I said about their job and your job? You ask them to go, they go. You ask them to rate with your body, your voice, maybe even a 2-hand check release. And you ask them to turn, they turn. But pulling your horse around the barrel like you're doing in this is not appropriate, that you're doing your horse's job for them. After you bump them, just a little inside bump, you should go to the horn once again, coming into the barrel right here, okay? Stay 2 hands until you get right there. Then go to the horn and then just guide with your inside rein and stay seated until you're at the exit, until you're leaving the barrel. Sit through the turn on the horn, guiding your horse, and let your horse work. You won't get in their way. They'll have snappier turns. See how you almost pulled the horse over the barrel? We don't want to get in the habit of doing their job for them. We want them to do their job themselves. So 1, 2, you have about 3 strides or 8. And then if you notice, you rate even late on this one. She doesn't turn. She's way late on this barrel. And this barrel, she's working nice. And see, your hand was much more guiding in this. I'd still rather you went to the horn right there. I'd still like you to sit somewhere in here, go to the horn right here, and then your hand, see how much softer your hand is? There's no pulling on her face. You're just guiding. And then, whoops, and you just barely catch that barrel, but that's okay. You know, I like this turn better. If you would have put a little inside leg on her here, maybe kept your rein hand forward an extra inch, clucked or smooched at her, she wouldn't have come around too soon. But, you know, that's something you learn. If you feel like they're coming back too much, you can sit up a little bit more. You can just learn to drive with your feet and your voice a little bit more. But I like that you're not in her face. So tipping that barrel is nothing. I'd rather see you have a turn like you had here than a turn like you had on this side, you know, where she's way wide and not listening to you and all of that. So, all right, so we're going to watch you run home on both of them. And you definitely could get more run home. You're not kicking home. You know, you've got to do that when you're ready. So, but overall, I feel like you did an awesome job, Skylar, riding Macy. I would love for you to follow up with me and let me know how you're doing. I'd like to see you occasionally for a lesson, and we can work on picking up your leads. Go ahead and work on that stuff that we did in the clinic, like the D pattern, and maybe practice riding 2 hands and then sit for rate back here and go to the horn and see if you can guide her with 1 hand in pretty circles, like a 10-foot circle around the barrel, and then back out and then roll back and go the other way. You know, just get where you practice those kind of things. 1-handed drills. You can do corkscrews. You know, you can trot and lope down smaller circles and then back out. And then you can also do pasture loops where you actually go in a straight line. Let's say you post trot, sit, jog, and then turn 1-handed. Post trot, sit, jog, turn 1-handed. And then when you go this way, you can even lope 2 hands, sit for rate, go to the horn, turn to the other direction, 1-handed, and just do pasture loops like that. Rate, go to the horn, and turn 1-handed. And this will just be good for your muscle memory to work on riding from 2 hands to 1 hand and guiding your horse in the turns with your body and your legs and your eyes and not pulling on them with your reins. So keep me posted, and you did a great job, and I can't wait to hear from you, so follow up with me.